My wife bought me some bike tools, and she went cheap. Any good? Let's find out. Hi, it's John, and welcome to Cycling on a Shoestring. I hope you're having a great spring. If you've been dealing with cold winter weather, I hope the spring has been good for you and you've been out riding your bike. I certainly have been doing that, starting to feel better on the bike, getting some Ks in my legs, starting to drop a few Ks as well. You know, I'm turning, I'm 57 years of age now, so I need all the advantage I can get when I'm out there riding with those young people out on the trails and out on the roads as well. We're going to talk a little bit about multi-tool kits for your bike. Tools you can take with you in case you have a mechanical when you're out on the road or on the trail. And my wife recently went out and spent some money and bought me 3 different multi-tool kits. This is one of them right here. Didn't even tell me. She said, I'd like you to do a review on your channel. So we're going to do that, well, on really 2 kits today, but I'll explain that in just a moment. And we're going to look at some of the ones that I've been carrying with me over the years. Those different multi-tool kits kind of progressed and got into smaller kits and lighter kits and better kits over the year. I'll tell you what to look for if you're new to cycling, and we'll actually look at a couple of kits that may work for you if you're cycling on a shoestring. Before we get to that though, my record this time on my shelf behind me is Lynyrd Skynyrd Street Survivors. And if you're looking at this album cover and it seems unusual to you if you have the Street Survivors album, this is the original album cover that was released before the band died tragically in a plane crash. A number of the band members, including Rodney Van Zant, Stephen Gaines, Cassie Gaines, you know, other people on that plane. And of course, this is the band standing on a street in flames. They didn't think it was appropriate, so they re-released it, and this is the album that you may have, or you may have the original. This is one I have as well. This is the re-released album cover. What's Your Name? That Smell, I Know a Little. Great record. This went platinum a number of times, went to number 5 in the chart. So Street Survivors by Lynyrd Skynyrd, great record. So we're going to be taking a look at these kits. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to make this as short as possible, but I'm going to put all my kits on a table here. You can take a look at them, and I'll explain about a couple of new ones I've got, courtesy of my wife, that might work for you if you're cycling on a shoestring. This is what my wife bought me. We're going to look at these, and I'll show you some of the stuff I've got and give you some tips on what to look for if you're buying a multi-tool kit to take out on your bike. But isn't my wife great? She's online. She bought this stuff at Amazon, okay? And you're going to look at 2 of these and think they look an awful lot alike, and they do. And I'll explain that to you in just a moment. But these are a couple of different low-cost, cycling on a shoestring for sure, multi-tool kits. And I'll tell you the pros and cons of these right now. Now, obviously, these 2 look exactly the same, other than they're a different color. But if you've gone on Amazon and you're buying stuff, these are made in China. No doubt they're made in exactly the same place, but they come under 2 different names, and you probably will find these under a half a dozen different names, and it's like that with a lot of product you get out of China. This one here is from Axe Gear, and this one is from Fular, Fularr. Both exactly the same. This one costs $13.99. This one costs $10.99. So even if you're getting the same thing, very often you can find something for maybe a few dollars cheaper, even though they're exactly the same product. Now, what has this got in it? Well, let me move this one out of the way, and this one for the time being, and I can show this to you. Well, it's got a chain tool on there, and I have broken a chain with this. I've broken a 10-speed chain. I'm sure it will do an 11-speed as well. Did just fine with that. And as far as the weight of it, it is pretty heavy. So if you're a weight weenie, you're going to find this a pretty heavy little tool to take along with you. But it's got all of the Allen wrenches and Allen keys you could possibly want on there. And it's got a Torx 25, so if you want to remove your discs off of your bike, or you have an issue with discs while you're out on the trail, you could remove them. It's got a T25, which is kind of handy these days. You know, most road bikes coming with disc brakes on them now. So as long as you can use a T25, you're good to go. It's got a slot screwdriver there as well. And over here, you've got a Phillips Phillips screwdriver. So it's got everything you could want on there. Now, what you do find about lower end stuff is that they start to get a little bit jangly after a while, okay? They start to loosen up. You might find that you'll have to tighten that up on occasion. You may even want to use some Loctite in there to keep it from opening up. But overall, this is an okay little kit. If you're somebody who, wants to buy something on a shoestring budget, this will work for you, okay? This is okay. I would get something, for instance, to put around this while it's in your saddlebag, or if you've got it in with other things like maybe a tube, because this could rub up against a tube. It's got some sharp points on there as well, and you could end up damaging your tube. Now what I'm going to do is I brought this old Tektro brake lever in here just to see how it works. But let me just see if the Allen wrenches are good enough. It's got a couple of different ones on here. And I'll tighten it up really tight. I don't care if I break it because it's old. I'm never going to use it again. We're just going to tighten it up really tight a few times. We'll just see how it lasts, because sometimes the metal in these things can be really cheap and soft and they'll round off, but overall, I mean, that looks pretty good. I'm not seeing any damage on it. So this is going to work for you. I don't think it's the best thing you can buy for your bike. Again, it's heavy, it's cheap, but it is going to work. So if you're looking for something on a shoestring budget, 10, 13 bucks, pretty cheap. These things are a pretty good tool for pretty much everything you want to do while you're out on a trail. Now, you will have to bring some tire levers along if you're going out on a trail as well, some glue maybe if you're going to patch a tube, but these are great for a multi-tool. Now, this one over here is a little bit of a different story. Comes with this little bag. It's got a loop on the back here you can put, on your belt. In the front here, a little pouch, all right? And it's got a little patch kit. These are glueless patches, another little Allen wrench in there as well, and the little scrapey thing so you can, rough up the tube when you're putting those patches on there. I haven't had much luck with glueless patches. I'm not sure what these are like, but personally, I like to put the glue on. I think it does a better job and it's more long lasting. Now, in the side here, they've got some tire levers. Now, these are made from metal, okay? In a pinch, these will work for you, but overall, I'm not in favor of using metal tire levers. You're going to damage your rims. There's a possibility you could damage your rims because, you're using that to get up under your rim. You're prying that rubber off of your rim, and you could end up damaging your rims with this. Got the little hooks on there as well to hook on the spokes. But in a pinch, these will come in handy if you need to use them. But in this kit as well, they also include some plastic ones, and it's nice. They snap together. I have a lot of Park Tool tire levers that snap together, and that's great. I like that it does that. And inside the kit, this pretty much comes with everything, but it does not come with a chain tool. If we open this up, you can see you've got your assortment of Allen wrenches on there, okay? There is no Torx tool on this one. On this side, you've got some more. You've got a Phillips and a slot screwdriver. Then you've got this right here that you can use with these sockets for your bike, okay? So if you've got, bolts on there that you need to remove, you can use this. This just pops out of here and it pushes on there, and then you can use it as a socket wrench. And it also comes with these wrenches on the side here, which I think are pretty much useless. If you ever want to try to get a bolt off your bike using these, don't think it's going to work. And I think you might even damage your bolt. Although, it's kind of clever. They do have a spoke wrench on there as well. So this comes with pretty much everything you could want, but I think it's kind of overkill. I don't think you need the socket wrenches on there. Keep it simple, stupid. But this would work in a pinch. I'm going to give this to a kid I know. They'll probably have some fun with that. And it's a little bit heavy as well. It's got plastic on the outside. But as far as this goes, this with this whole thing, $16.99. So again, cycling on a shoestring budget, this might come in handy. Personally, I prefer this over this. Okay, this is better than this. I would keep this on my bike. Now, as far as what I carry, I've had a lot of different tools over the years. This is one of the tools that I've had for a very long time. This is made by Blackburn, okay? Let me see if I can get a better focus on that. This is made by Blackburn, and this is quite a cool little kit. It's got a spoke wrench on here, a chain tool on here. On this end, you've got a 4, 5, and 6 when it comes to an Allen wrench, a little T there. In here, you've got another little Allen wrench right there. This you can use to adjust your pedals, for instance, and it'll work on, say, SPD pedals. I've used it on there. And on the back over here, you've got some socket wrenches. You've got a slot screwdriver for doing some adjustments. All right. Over here, you've got 3 different size spoke wrenches, so it comes with those on it. And here in the end, what you do is you slide this in here, and that allows you to get a little bit of torque if you're, using it as a screwdriver. But kind of a neat little kit. And it's got your chain tool on there as well. So I think that's neat. I've had that for a long time. I actually found that when I was in Gatineau Park more than 20 years ago. So if you lost one of those in Gatineau Park 20 years ago, get in touch. I'll return it to you. Now this, the mother of all multi-tools, if you want to take it on your bike, this is the Topeka Alien 2, I believe. I think it's called the 2. I had the 1, lost it years ago, left my saddlebag open and it fell out. Keep that in mind when you're going out on a trail. But this is the Topeka Alien 2. It's got everything you can imagine on here. You've got all your Allen wrenches, you've got spoke wrenches, you've got box wrenches, you've got a knife which could come in handy, got a screwdriver in there. These plastic pieces here are your tire levers. You've got some box wrenches on there. There's your chain tool. It's a nice chain tool. They even include the little metal hook on there so you can hold the 2 pieces of chain together. This is everything you can imagine and perfect for you if you want to go out and be self-sufficient. I take this mountain biking, not road biking. It is rather heavy, and it comes in this little package right here with a little hook on, with a little strap on the back there so you can hook it on your belt. But this, the mother of all tools, multi-tools, very, very heavy. And again, I take this mountain biking. Now, this is what I use on my road bike right now. This is from Lesign. I did a lot of research before I actually purchased this. I wanted to get something small. I wanted to get something light. You can see it's got this little rubber piece on here so that when this is on your bike, it's not going to rattle around, although it's a very well-made multi-tool. It's a good one. It doesn't get loose like those cheap ones I told you about, but it's got everything I pretty much need when I'm out on my bike. I've got my chain tool on there. If you look right here, there's a slot right there and 2 slots on the back. Those are spoke wrenches, and you can remove this right off and use it as a spoke wrench. So any size spoke wrenches will fit in there. And then you've got all of your Allen wrenches on the inside, including a little Phillips screwdriver on there as well. And you've got a Torx. So there's your Torx T25 right there, which is something, again, you might want to use if you're out and you've got disc brakes on your bike. But a great little kit. I think I paid between 40 and 50 bucks for this. I didn't go cheap on this one. I didn't go shoestring budget because I knew this is something I was going to have on my bike for a long time. Very small, pretty light as well, and probably one of the lightest you can get, but pretty much everything you'll want if you're out on the trail. Now, here's what you basically need. If you're not somebody who knows a lot about fixing chains and breaking chains and stuff like that, all you're really going to need is something like this. I've had this for a very long time. Now, this does not include a T25 on it, okay, for disc brakes, but this has basically got some Allen wrenches, a slot screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver on it, and take this along with you so you can do some basic adjustments on your bike. Now, all of these things are good. No matter what you may be buying, they will work for you, okay? Even these cheaper ones that I brought on here for Cycling on a Shoestring, all of these things are going to work. The problem is, do you know how to use them? That's the important part, okay? Do you know how to use these tools? Learn some basic things about bike maintenance, how to adjust your brakes, how to adjust your gears, how to change a tube on your bike. I see people walk into bike shops, they've got a flat tire, and they get charged 20, 25 bucks for 2 minutes of work. Great for the shops, and I think the independent bike dealers, good for them, they're making money on it, but you can save a lot of money if you learn some basic bike maintenance and you learn how to use some of these tools. My final thoughts on these 2 Cycling on a Shoestring budget multi-tools. First off, this one, about $16.99 if you buy it on Amazon. That's Canadian dollars, by the way. It's got all the Allen wrenches you'd want on there, but it's got stuff here that I don't really need, okay? You've got those socket wrenches that I'm not going to use on my modern bikes. Maybe you can use them on yours, but it's a pretty clunky little kit here. I don't recommend this one at all. Now, as far as this one goes, yeah, this one works pretty good. I'm happy with this. It has got a chain tool and it's functional. I have broken a chain with it, so it does work. It's got all the Allen wrenches you can want. It's got a torque wrench on there. The only thing this doesn't have that I would want to have on my bike is a spoke wrench, okay? Something you might need on the road. I have broken spokes before on a number of occasions and have had to true my wheel to get it straight when I'm on the road. So if you're going to buy this, you might want to pick up a spoke wrench as well, one that fits your bike, and take that along with you. But overall, for $10.99 or $13.99, who knows, even if it's cheaper, this is a pretty good little kit if you're cycling on a shoestring budget. Thank you very much for watching this video. I do appreciate it. I was doing a little reminiscing on this one, looking back at my multi-tools over the years. I hope you enjoyed that as well. If you've got any comments on what you're using, please leave it in the comments below. That would be terrific. You can always give me a thumbs up on the channel. Would like that a lot. Please subscribe. Over 700 subscribers now, working our way towards 1,000. So subscribe to the channel. Also ring the bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time on Cycling on a Shoestring.